Oh, well, good morning. We're learning the mimer, the essay, discourse of the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe, Rabbi Yosef Yitzchak, and that was said in Tafshin Beit. Tafshin Beit. And we're learning now the mimer about Avram Zoken Bo B'Yamin. It's on page 62. And yesterday we began by learning the first paragraph and the beginning of the second paragraph, and we said that Avraham, who was the first Jew, one of the things that he requested from God was that he should have a beard. And according to some other opinions, it was not just a beard he had a beard, but he wanted his beard to be white. And why did he want a white beard? So that people would know the difference between him and his son. Abraham was 100 years old when he gave birth to Yitzchak. And when he and Yitzchak would come into a room, people wouldn't stand up for either one of them, or they would stand up for both of them. So in order that Abraham would get honor, and they would know who to honor, as he asked for a beard or a white beard. And God said, "This is a wonderful thing you're asking for. I will give it to you." Ask the Rebbe, this makes absolutely no sense. What difference could it possibly make to Abraham that he got honor? And even more, what's the idea he's going to get honor just because he has a beard? He has a white beard. He has a beard. You could tell the difference between him and Yitzchak. That's really so important to Abraham. Abraham was supposed to be a great person. That's what Judaism stresses, that we should have a beard. That's the most important thing. What about people that don't grow beards? What about women? The whole thing makes no sense. Says the Rebbe, no, we have to look into the Zohar. You're right, it makes no sense. You have to look into the Zohar. And the Zohar says that the beard represents self-sacrifice. Abraham didn't just want to have a beard. He didn't want to have a beard. Goats have beards. There's some orangutans that have beards. But the point of the beard when it was grown on Abraham was that it would be a sign of his self-sacrifice. That's what it says. Let's start over here. Hine Kativ. Let's take it from the previous page 63. Hine Kativ, it is written, Mi Heir Mi Mizrach, who will wake up from the east. In other words, who woke up Abraham? This is talking about Abraham, that he came from the east. Who woke up Abraham? What was the motivation for Abraham to go out and tell the whole world that there's a creator and that the creator is creating everything? He's creating. What motive? What does he care? Let everybody worship what they want to. Who motivated? Who motivated? Al tikra heir, it says, don't say that who aroused Abraham. Heir with an aleph. Avram to shine. Avram hitchil heir. Avram started to shine. What do you mean to shine? The ad Avram, before Abraham, the world was in darkness. What does it mean, darkness? Everybody thought only about themselves. What happens when you're in the dark room? You don't see anybody else. What does darkness mean? Darkness means, could be the sun is out and all you see is yourself. The whole world is dark. You don't see other people, you don't see other needs, you don't see anything. All you see is yourself. What I can get out of everything. Avram came, and he started to shine the world up. People started to see other people. They started to see the creation. They started to see what the Creator wants you to see. They started to be interested in fixing up the world according to what the Creator wants. Before Abraham, nobody knew what the Creator wants. They didn't know what they only knew one thing, what they wanted. Person knows what it is. I'm hungry, I'm tired, I'm this, I want, I. The Avram Avinu alav hashalom, that Abraham, Pirsam Elokuso, Avram advertised godliness, Yisbarech B'olam. The ofen pirsamo, and the way that he advertised it, haya ba'avodah, was in service of Mesiras Nefesh. He was self-sacrifice. And he gave up this thing that everybody else in the world worshipped, namely self. Abraham gave it up. And in this Heir at the Olam, he shined up the world. For this reason, behold, who Davka, he was the one, the Tava Hazikna, he wanted to have old age. Hainu de Liyoto Bal Mesirat Nefesh, because he was one that had self-sacrifice, L'Kadosh Shem Shamayim, to sanctify God's name, to make God holy in the world. What does it mean to sanctify God's name? It means that the God's name is the world, and to make it sanctified means to show that the whole world is really potentially a holy place. God is creating everything. Abraham advertised that the whole world is potentially holy. Hine, hu davka yada migodol malas chashivos hazaken. Therefore, Avram knew what the importance of a beard is. Visar Lavan, and especially white hairs. Why? Lochen, therefore, hine, hu hitpalel, he prayed. V'tava, and he demanded at azikna, he demanded old age, beloven, sarot, and white hairs, hazaken, of the beard. Shehu hadras panim, when a beard is on Avram, it's not the same thing as when a beard is on Abraham Lincoln or on an orangutan or on this. When the beard was on Abraham, you saw that the beard meant something totally different. Shezochim ayedekiyam mitzvahs al pi Torah. That this is what's called a shining face, which is merited by means of doing the commandments according to the Torah. When a person lives his life and he says, I only want to do what the Creator wants, and he doesn't think about himself so much or at all, then his face shines. Ubira Inyan, explanation, who is? Tehine, Avram Nikra Avram Oavi. Avram is called Avram, my beloved. But it also means Avram Ohavi, that he loves me. Hainu Shahayam Mirkava, he was a vehicle, lebechinat chesed, for God's kindness and love. Just like a television, right? Bring the television in this room and turn it on. All of a sudden you see there's television waves in the room. Who would ever dream of such a thing? Here we're sitting in a room. You can't see anything. You bring in a television, you turn it on, and all of a sudden there's World War II is going on and there's bombs falling down. Right? And you can change the channel. All of a sudden you see that there's somebody digging a tunnel, who knows where they're digging, and then you turn the channel and there's another spaceman going up. You turn another channel and there's a nature. All of a sudden there's a fish jumps up and a bear catches it. Who would ever dream that those things are in this room? You can't see anything. There's nothing interesting whatsoever looking at the air. You bring a television, all of a sudden, no. So that's what Avram was. Avram was like a television. He was a vehicle. You brought Avram, all of a sudden people saw, oh, there's God. Oh, God, Hashem is good. He cares. God is all powerful. God is creating everything. Everything has a purpose. I have a purpose. Right? I'm not alone. They brought Avram, all of a sudden you see. But one thing bad about Avram was, everybody saw, I have responsibility. I can't do what I want. I can't do what I want anymore. I'm being created by the Creator. The Creator is infinitely good. He's giving me everything. But he's also giving me responsibility. I'm responsible to him. I can't worship idols. I can't kill. I can't steal. I can't do sexual crimes. I can't do sexual deviations, whatever. I can't do it. I can't take somebody else's wife, take somebody else's, marry my own daughter, marry my mother. Avram was called he showed God's kindness in the world. Without Avram, nobody knew there was such a thing. Avram was the television. You said, you watched them, you saw God is kind. Like it says, like it says by Abraham, that he walked and he went to the south. That he went from level to level, from below to above, until he clung, he was connected to this aspect of chesed, of atzilut. What does atzilut mean? Atzilut is one of the four worlds, all creation, spiritual creation, can be divided into 4 dimensions, general dimensions, and each one of them is subdivided and subdivided. But 4 general dimensions. We talked about this in the previous mimer in much more detail. The lowest of these dimensions is this world called Asiya. The highest is called Atzilut, and that is pure godliness. Abraham was the television. He was the, how do you say, the revealer of the fact of God's kindness. Or another way of saying God is Atzilus, the chesed of Atzilus, the kindness of the world of Atzilus. And Avram's service was Mesirut Nefesh. Mesirut Nefesh means he did not worship what everyone else worshipped. What did everyone else worship? Themselves. And Avram had Mesirut Nefesh. Avram gave himself totally to what the Creator wants, because the Creator, he creates the self. But Avram hechlif et midat hachesed. Avram did the job so well. He was so surrendered to God's kindness that people looked at Avram and they saw kindness. They saw God's kindness. Any idea that anybody had about what God's kindness was nothing compared to looking at Abraham. From Abraham, you could understand what God's kindness is better than you could understand from a beautiful sunset. From beautiful. Okay, to eat of a Pardis, like it says in the book called Pardis. It's a Kabbalistic book by the man called Moshe Cordovero. B'Shem, and the name of the Sefer HaBahir, which is another Kabbalistic book, which is even earlier than that. Sefer HaBahir. Omra, Midat Chesed, Livnei Kodesh Baruch Hu, that the aspect of Chesed, of Atzilut, said to God, Rabbonu Shel Olam, Master of the Universe, Miyamei, Hayita Avram, from the time that Avram was Ba'oretz in the world, Lo Hitzrachti Lasot Malachti, I didn't have to do any work. Abraham, he brought Avram, Omed, Umeshamish Mamakomi, Avram, he's bringing kindness into the world more than I can do. In other words, Avram's kindness, you looked at Avram, you could understand that God is kind better than you could understand God is kind from anything else. Just one second. I see that there's a book over here. There were books that fell on the ground over there. Okay. What Abraham did is a sign for us that what the Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov did is a sign for us. What does it mean there's a sign? And there's 2 ways of saying it. For either it's a sign, and others are like a road sign, what we can do, tells us what we can do, or it was just a sign. It was just only a sign. We can do the real thing. The Avram Avinu patach et hatzino. That Avram Avinu, that's why he's called Avram Avinu. Look in the Bible, you can't see that Abraham did any miracles. You can't see that Abraham even succeeded. Abraham didn't talk about going to heaven. He didn't give any meditations. He didn't give any particular religion. There's no rituals. What did Abraham do? Abraham opened up the door. He opened up the pipeline. The avodat Hashem be'ava. To serve God with love. To love God. Not love what God does for me. Not love God because what the greatness in the world, those are hints, of course. But to love Hashem himself. Hashem is so good. He's the source of all good. Can you feel this? Yes. From the time of Abraham, you could feel it. Before Abraham, you could not feel the goodness of God. That's why people worship idols. They worship the sun. The sun is so good. It's so warm. It gives light. They worship the moon. The moon is so mysterious. It lights up the darkness. So this is very great. Changes all the time. They worshipped animals. They worshipped people. They worshipped angels. They worshipped powers. They worshipped spirits. They worshipped ghosts. They worshipped anything they could to get benefit, to give them comfort, to give them. But they did not worship God himself, the creator of all these ghosts and all these things. They didn't create. Nobody did. Till came Abraham. Abraham showed how good God is, and but you have to give up a lot in order to feel realist. You have to give up what? Your egotism. False egotism. Selfishness. You have to give it up. But the Veika Chashika, Abraham brought into the world that it is possible to cling to God and love God with lust, simon, thirst. The shorish ahava, that the source of the word ahava, love, is ava. What's ava mean? Desire. Lashon ratzon. Love means that you have a tremendous will to a thing. A thing is very good to you. Hainu shekol cheptzo v'ratzono. Everything, all of his desire and all of his will, will be l'Hashem levado, to God alone. V'lo yachpot, and he will not desire b'shum davar, and anything zulato, except for God Yisborech. U'chomo shekatuv, and like it is written, mi li b'shamayim, who do I have? And that's what King David said. King David was also made of the same stuff that Abraham was made of. He was a Jew. And he said, what do I care about the heavens? I don't want to be just with you, God. I want you alone. How can we get to this level? You have to think. You have to sit down and think. You have to sit, and we talked about this before. A person has to think, but not just thinking in the world. It has to be what's called hitbonanut. Hitbonanut means to solve an important, vital question. Hitbonanut. Mitbonen means you think deeply into solving a very important, pressing, urgent problem. Hitbonanut. How am I going to do this? What's the best way? I want to go to Russia. Right? This ticket costs this. There's a stopover over here. But maybe if I stop over in this country, maybe I heard about this, that over here they stopped everybody, they put everybody in jail. Which airline? He sits and he thinks deeply. Maybe he asks people advice. What should I do? I'm a problem. I have a ticket. I want to go back. It's something very important to him. Which doctor should I go to? Should I make this up or should I not? He looks up everything he can. It's very important. That's really called hitbonanut. He thinks deeply. Here we're talking about a problem that can only be solved inside of us. You can have 1,000 people talking about God and convincing you of God. You can learn all the Chassidus you want to in the world and understand everything. You can answer every question, know what everything is written, but you still could be that you don't believe in God and you're not excited. You can explain the whole idea. Excitement comes from what we call hitbonanut, thinking deeply into how incomprehensible God is. And how this God who's totally incomprehensible is creating me. And he cares about what's happening. And he creates the world. He creates the stars. And he creates the angels. And he creates everything. Right? To realize this, and to realize also the futility, the impossibility of really grasping Hashem. Right? It breaks your heart on one hand, but on the other hand, you realize, God is creating me. He's infinitely good. And I am so far away from this good. Right? That's called hitbonanut. But Pasuk Rishon, especially when you're in the first sentence of Kriya Shema. Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. You're supposed to think, Eich Shahu Yisbrech, how it is that God is one in the heavens and the earth. He creates the heavens, He creates the earth. The heavens and the earth are just a ray of His reality. Shalzem more tevos echad. That's what it means, echad. You have to think, what does it mean that God is really one? Really, there was no real world. It's a creation. God is creating it all the time, but God is creating it. The world is really real because God is creating it. But without Hashem creating it, there's no world. All there is God. And what is God creating it from? He's creating it from His goodness. He's creating it from His love. So everything you see and everything you hear, and especially yourself, you, the one who is seeing and the one who is hearing, you're being created by God. God is infinitely close to you. On the other hand, He's infinitely far away from you. That He's close, you can have tremendous love for God. That He's far, you can have tremendous longing. That's where the beautiful Chassidic niguns come from Chabad. From the Yush, the futility of trying to come close to God, all we can do is sing to Him and praise Him, how great He is. And that brings to love. As we'll talk about more, God willing, tomorrow.